What's up, everybody? It is Tiffany Stone. We are here, King of the Hammers 2025, and of course, you guys got to know, I'm definitely going to talk to Brad Lovell. Like, Brad, we've got three-wheelers going around, we've got buggies, we've got lights, we've got the fire pit, and you and I always have a chance to talk, and I really wanted to do something different. I wanted to do a fireside chat. You know, the fire pit has been such a big, iconic thing here at Hammers. It's a place where everybody comes together, not only just to warm up, but to share stories, to share laughs, talk about their day. So this is exactly what I want to do.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing about King of the Hammers, driving in here, it is the mecca for motorheads. It's unbelievable. And that's what brings us all together, is the love for off-roading, the love for building unique vehicles. And I do appreciate that so much about this event. There's so much diversity, different races, different people out here having fun. From the highway, you can see there's a constant line that goes all the way up Chocolate Thunder from here.
And that's like the cool thing about it too, because you've been coming here for how many years now?
18 years,
18 years.
Yeah.
Brad has been coming here. There were probably children who weren't born yet that now are coming to
My children.
Okay, your children. That is true, your children. But like, what I think is so cool about it is like what you were saying, it's like 18 years. So I guess the big question is, what keeps you coming back? And first and foremost, guys, congratulations again on the win. It's another win for Brad Lovell in his class, which I think is awesome. But why do you come back every year?
You know, we were talking a little bit about challenge, and you have to rise to the occasion. And this is a very difficult race. You know, it's billed as the most difficult one-day race. And I don't know that there's a race that I stress more about, that I worry about preparation more about. And it takes a lot to raise yourself time and again. One thing that always bugs me, it's always over the holidays that we're trying to prep and order parts and the whole industry shuts down. But why do you do it? It's to overcome. It's the challenge. It's to go and beat the race and beat your competition.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get beat down. I was talking on the podium today, 18 times, I think. One time we didn't even start. We had it was a DNS. We blew up the engine before the race even started. Last year we made it 3 miles. But when that happens, and it's not fun when it happens, but you really have to appreciate the wins when you get them.
Well, and when you're talking about the wins, not only are you winning for yourself, but you're winning for your family. And like you were saying, like your kids weren't even born, and now we see Adam out there, and Adam's out there driving. By the way, guys, if you see this cool build that he has, that is like one of the coolest builds. But he's out there driving right now. And so I guess not only have you stepped into, obviously, driving with your brother, so like there's that family dynamic, but now your son. So like you've got this brother-brother relationship, you've got a driver relationship, co-driver relationship, but you've also got that father-son relationship. So how's that really changed throughout the years for you?
Well, you know, growing up, we weren't a racing family, and we became a racing family. But I really think it's so key, because you have to have a relationship with the people that you get involved here, because it takes a lot of strive and a lot of want to go racing. And there are bad days. And there have been great people I've been involved with on my team that have come and gone, and still great friends. But what binds us together over decades is being family. Yeah. And it's a great honor to me to be racing out here with my son Adam. I've done a lot of racing with my son Byam, obviously my brother.
Yeah.
But Adam is actually working for me full time, and he's prepping the vehicles. So, you know, he's getting to prep them, and then that's what makes a great co-driver, is somebody that knows how to work on the car, that has some sense. We're going to have to figure out some situations in the 4600 race for sure that are going to be really difficult. It's a really hard race. There's a lot more VCPs in the rocks, so that means a lot of winching and a lot of communication. He's going to have to be outside of the car, and it's certainly, you know, the focal point's always the driver, but it's so much about the team outside of the vehicle and inside of the vehicle.
And speaking of that, you always thank your team first and foremost, which I think is awesome. But going back to like Adam and you saying now he's prepping the team, it is the most funniest thing when he comes up and he's like, Tiffany, do you remember when you used to pay me to like clean your boots? And I was like, honestly, I do remember when I had you clean my boots, but it's just so funny to see like the dynamic. This is how long Brad and I have been chatting. And it's just funny because like you just grow and you get better. And I guess, are there any times when you have to separate the father-son dynamic and more so the driver, co-driver? How does that like weigh on you?
Yeah, you know, 100%. I think it's easier as the kids get older, but you know, we've been racing for a number of years already, and what I've always explained to them is when we're in the car, we are trying to do the best that we can. And, you know, if I get upset with you or you get upset with me, that's not father-son, that's two men trying to figure it out and do the best that we can. And you know, the race we did today, the desert race, I feel is only kind of a warm-up to that. We did have to get out and change a tire, and we did have to deal with some high-stress situations. But it's nothing like that 4,600 race where we're taking a stock Bronco through all these gnarly trails. We're running the same trails that the 4,400s are.
Yes.
So, and I hear that there are plenty of difficult positions, you know, areas out there.
Yes.
And we'll start looking at that tomorrow.
Very much so. And when we're talking about that too, so you've got a bunch of different races going on. I'm sorry, a bunch of different races on the same race course. So you've got the red lap, the white lap, the blue lap. You've got 65 miles, 85 miles, and that last lap is 75 miles, but nobody's really going to know. You know, Dave was talking about releasing that course later on, but it's going to be the most difficult for that third lap.
Yeah.
How are you guys going to tackle that?
Well, I'm going to tackle it by only doing 2 laps. Because, so for the EMC race, I believe we're only 2 laps.
Okay, perfect.
But you know, that's tough. I think that would be very challenging to deal with as a competitor, to not even know what the challenge is.
Yeah.
It's one thing we do in North America. We go pre-run and we know everything like the back of our hand. But, you know, having been over and look at Dakar and Saudi Arabia and some different European races, that's exactly how they do it. You have no idea where you're going. And I think it really takes a different mindset. For me, when we're running out here, I like to divide it up into sections. Because every section I know, okay, I have to push here. Maybe I have to worry about this. I get over that, then it's smooth sailing.
That's true.
So I think that third lap's going to be very difficult.
Well, and that's what I keep forgetting that, because we keep changing some stuff. Like today, you know, we had the limited guys, they ran 4, but in certain classes they ran 3, and then other classes just ran 1. And then we go into the unlimited, they're running 5 laps. So how, I guess at the end of the day, really, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge going into the big race that you guys are known for?
The biggest challenge this year is for sure going to be the rocks. And it's always the rocks, but what is different this year is there's a lot of VCPs in the rocks.
Okay.
And those are virtual checkpoints. So we have to go through and clear these 50-foot radius spots. And, you know, people say you're cheating when you're taking bypasses. I don't know. Some people call it king of the bypasses. But either way, the more we race through these trails, the more you're high-siding and crossing the wash and staying out of all the clutter in the bottom. Now we're in the clutter in the bottom. And I expect it to be, like I said, no bypasses for 4,600s this year. So I think it's going to be very challenging, and we're not going to see a lot of 4,600 finishers this year. So again, mentality, don't worry about the competition. Just worry about getting to the finish line.
Well, and what we've talked about so many times is people say sometimes the biggest competition is you. It's getting into your head, and it's you.
Yeah.
But you know, you're
100%.
a multifaceted driver. You have done so many great things, and it's really cool to see that. You know that, right?
But the thing is, Tiffany, like, I still get nervous before every race.
Right? I'm not even kidding you, Brad. When I'm at remote pit and you guys see me out there plenty of times and they're like, Brad's coming in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this interview. Do you know that I get nervous? Because I've got one shot to get this interview. Because it's like, okay, he's coming in, he's going to do a re-rack, a splash, we're going to check some things. And I'm like, okay, thinking in my head. And so just so you know, I'm just as nervous as you are, because I'm like, if I mess this up, what am I supposed to do? Hey, Brad, come on back. Let's do this one again. So, I mean, I get that. You know, Brad, I always love chatting with you, like this, in this kind of like intimate setting, you know, like it's a fireside chat. I hope to do more of these, get some more drivers to do this, because I think we always have that microphone in your face, or we're always talking about something. And first and foremost, this has to be a passion, and it's got to be a love, because it's a lot of work. It
is. And I guess, you know, I was reminiscing the other day, but I was 26 when I quit my job as an engineer, because I'm going to go be a full-time racer. Yeah. And I can't believe it worked out, but it did. But the thing is, it's that passion that drives me every day. It's been the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life.
Yeah.
But there's passion, and you either have it or you don't, or you have it for something else. And that's what I always try to encourage my kids. It's like, find your passion and go chase it.
Regardless what you do, just be the best at it.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, I mean, we're here. It's Hammertown. Look at how much this place has grown, and what we've always talked about of how iconic the fire pit is. We've got pizza. Like we were talking about, we've got Ultra 3s around here.
General store.
We got the general store. It's so cool. I mean, there was a pit crew challenge. There's food and music and buggies and Jeeps and motorcycles and everything. I guess one last thing, and this is going to be very, very difficult. Trust me, I know this is going to be difficult. How do you sum up King of the Hammers in one word, though?
I guess magnificent.
Magnificent. You know what I thought you were about to say?
What?
Because we've just talked about it so much. I thought you were about to say family.
Family?
Yeah.
Well, there's family too.
It's your off-road family.
Yeah.
So
Yes. 100%.
AMSOIL has made us off-road family for so many years. So it's
Indeed.
really cool. So Brad, thank you so much for taking the time to do this cool fireside chat, get to know a little bit more about your stories. I'm not going to bring up what Roger used to tell us about ice cream back in the day. If you guys have seen those videos.
That already got told tonight.
That did get told.
Yes.
You guys, go back to our AMSOIL All Access from a few years ago. It's like when I used to do this or that. I'll just leave it at that, guys. I'll just leave it at that. So thank you guys once again for stopping by. Tiffany Stone, Brad Lovell. Hope you guys enjoy this fireside chat. Hope to do more of these. And best of luck to you, Brad, in just a few days. I know we're looking for that win.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
It's been fun.